regular season. They need a miracle. There's one. Williams for throw. 5. It's another 3. It's a 2-point game. Holy cow.
I was just out there playing basketball. I mean, it's something I look back on after the game. Like, wow, you know, I can't believe that just happened.
It's the most remarkable comeback I have ever seen.
We knew that we played well at our place for 39 minutes, and we knew that if we went on there and played hard for 40 minutes, and just as long as we competed, that we would give ourselves a chance to win, and we did.
Then it was Maryland out for revenge, and Juan Dixon took control. 5 steals to go with 28 points. And the Terps won in Durham for the second year in a row, 91-80, the final. The Georgia Dome with a crowd of more than 40,000 to see Maryland take on Duke in the semifinals as championship week. Presented by 7-Up. Maryland number 13, Duke number 2 in the latest polls. North Carolina has already advanced to the ACC championship game tomorrow at 1. The winner of this one will join the Tar Heels. Good afternoon, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale. It's great to have you with us again from the ACC. During those 2 games in the regular season, Maryland actually outplayed Duke for 79 of the 80 minutes. But, Dick, they only won one of the games.
Yeah, 1-1. I'll tell you one thing, though. After that game, Maryland really went into a schneid. Emotionally, they were absolutely devastated. They got blown out by Virginia, and then they reached the really depths of despair. Got beat at home by Florida State. The crowd was beginning to boo. But then all of a sudden, they showed their character. They showed their balance. They showed their depth inside, outside, and they have been on a roll. They have been on fire. The question is, does Duke have enough firepower, enough inside play to be able to neutralize the great size of Maryland? The one answer Duke has is the raining of threes, and they better make those threes as an equalizer.
Certainly, Maryland comes into this game with a big advantage as far as size, a big advantage as far as depth. For more on that, here's Brad Doherty.
Thanks, Mike. You're exactly right. Maryland's a very big basketball team. Holden, Wilson, Baxter, Martisic, all these guys go 6 foot 8 inches or bigger, and they play very big. One interesting note, though, North Carolina as well as North Carolina State changed their lineups to play against a smaller Duke basketball team. It cost both of those teams the games. Maryland needs to stick with their game plan, play big, play strong, negate the 3 points. They'll have a good chance.
All right, Brad, thanks very much. Let's take a look at the lineups that Gary Williams will send out. Mouton, Baxter, and Morris up front. Blake and Dixon in the backcourt. Blake, the leading assist man in the ACC. For the Heels of Duke, Dunleavy, Sanders, the sophomore, in place of the injured Boozer, and Battier will go up front. Williams and Duhan get the starts at the guards. Mike Krzyzewski is 2 victories away from 600 in his career. He's won 525 at Duke. How special would it be for him to make number 600 the ACC championship game tomorrow? And Gary Williams trying to validate a couple of wonderful streaks this year. His 12th season at Maryland. To me, this is by far his best team. At times, they have simply been unbeatable.
Yeah, they really have shown at times that really unbelievable dominant ability. They're a very deep basketball team, and they have matured at the right time of the year. This team could have folded up when they went into that slide, but they showed a lot of character when they went down on a road and really punished Wake Forest.
Battier and Morris jump center, and Stephen Blake.
He's labeled a human assist by Howard Garfinkel. The Super Garf has called him the human assist.
Number 1 in the ACC, 8th in the country. Morris against Battier.
And that's where they're going to go, right inside. Attack the interior of Duke.
Jason Williams has it blocked. The rebound to Terrence Morris.
Morris and Baxter are going to get a lot of touches posted up on the inside.
Baxter against Sanders, who's really prone to foul trouble. And Terrence Morris will try a 3. It's an air ball. Morris, first team All-ACC as a sophomore, second team last year, third team this year. He's got great skills, but he just doesn't seem to control ball games.
But I'll tell you one thing, he really is an important part of that basketball team and has to play well in a big-time games like this for them to win.
Williams to Dunleavy.
Duke's got that smaller guard combination, playing Duhan and Williams together rather than James.
Duhan out of the corner. Rebound comes to Baxter. Blake kicks it ahead to Dixon, who has been on fire. Morris, baseline drive.
That's an unbelievable move. Great baseline drive. Again, bringing the ball to the inside. An area where Duke really doesn't have the kind of manpower.
Battier for three. Knocked outside. Blake recovers.
They got to make those threes. They can't afford to have a bad shooting day like they did yesterday against NC State from the three-point line.
Blake too high for Baxter.
Little one-on-one. Look at Terrence Morris inside. He says, come on, Mr. Battier. You'd administer defense, but that's Matador defense. I blew right by you, Shane.
Battier has to be so careful today. He's got to play inside. He's got to be the shot blocker and the defender, and he can't afford to get in foul trouble.
And Michael Dunleavy's got to be able to find his shot. They're going to need that shot. It wasn't there yesterday at all. They didn't need it.
Williams over Blake, and Blake has done a brilliant job in the two meetings against Jason Williams.
Yeah, he's the one guy that really neutralizes the great ability of Jason.
Dixon, brilliant crossover, tried to get it to Baxter, last touch by Duke.
I'll tell you, Dixon's been on fire. Had 28, as you said earlier, in that matchup against Duke. They beat Duke twice, as you said, also down at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And I'll tell you something else. Watching them in the warm-ups, they got a certain strut and certain glide about them. They're not intimidated by that Duke jersey.
Yes, they do. Nearly stolen. Blake inside to Morris, and Morris is fouled.
See, I think a lot of teams are half-beaten before they play against Duke. And that's not Gary Williams' kids. I mean, they got his personality when they see that Duke Blue Devil uniform.
Boy, and that's really a credit to them, too, Dick, because that comeback at Cole Fieldhouse literally tore their heart out. And they had nothing left for the next 2.5 weeks. To their credit, they have come back.
Well, you know, you talk to a lot of journalists that were there who were already filing their story. They already were filing their story.
Exactly.
How to redo their stories.
They just told some guys, you know, add the final score to it. I'll be in the press room.
Not the kind of start. If you're Duke right now, you're going down, spotting some points here early.
Terrence Morris has scored all 5 points, make it 6. A quick start. Gary Williams couldn't have hoped for anything more from his senior star.
Duke gets a lot of dribble penetration, likes to spread the court, utilize their ball handling and shooting skills.
Duhan, the freshman who will be a superstar at Duke. Dunleavy in the lane, and it's partially blocked. Fight for the ball. Battier comes out. Mouton on the floor, tied up by Battier. Possession arrow will give it to Duke.
You know, Duke has not had one open shot yet. The defense and the aggressiveness of Maryland has really been dominant here for the first 2 minutes of this game.
Duke is 0 for 5 from the floor.
Look at Mouton. He's playing face-to-face. He says right in the face of Dunleavy right there with a block shot. Every shot is being challenged.
Battier cut off. Nice double team by Dixon.
Battier and Morris, one matchup.
Dunleavy from a mile downtown as the shot clock was running out. It was a bad shot, but he didn't have a choice. He had to launch one. The shot clock was at 1.
Mike Krzyzewski's got to be really concerned with the start right now. Duhan matched up with Blake. Williams and Dixon going head-to-head. Good matchups.
Baxter back to Blake, who's been shooting a little more lately and hitting his outside shot.
Yeah, when you combine his ability to pass with that three-point shot, that makes him such an effective player.
Mouton, fadeaway jumper.
I'll tell you one thing, they are executing, Mike. They are executing offensively and defensively, and their points are coming on in the interior. They are attacking the inside of Duke.
And remember how important Blake is to this team as Williams goes down. When he fouled out of that first game, that's when the tremendous comeback started. Sanders with a miss. Dunleavy with a follow. He can't hit it. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds. It is out to Maryland. The Terps dominating early.
You're exactly right. When he went out of the game, they were a different basketball team.
Duke is 0 for 8 from the floor, and Dick, you pointed it out perfectly. Every shot being contested to the ultimate.
Oh, they are really challenging. You can see the effort right now. Gary's got these kids so fired up, it's unreal. See, they feel right now they should be 2-0 with Duke. They feel they should have won 3 in a row, counting the last game last year at Cameron Indoor.
Great steal by Jason Williams. And he got the layup and missed it. Duke still hasn't hit a bucket, and now Duhan will try. Reggie Love checks in for the first time. Battier loose ball. Battier, 17-footer, short. Love, the football player, got a hand on the rebound, and then a foul.
Great
Duke
effort.
is 0 for 11.
Great effort by the kids, but when have you ever heard Duke being 0 for 11 out of start of a game?
Interesting substitution there as Reggie Love comes in. He gave him a lift yesterday. Played 13 minutes.
Jason Williams normally finishes that, but he really had a tough angle right there. Blake was riding him on the hip. It wasn't as easy as a layup as it looked, but he normally makes that.
Baxter, turnaround jumper in the lane. The whitewash continues. It's 10-0.
They got no answer on the inside. They better start knocking down some threes, baby.
Nate James got it. Big shot off the bench for Nate James.
And that is a big plus. They got to be able to make those threes to have any chance here this afternoon.
Dixon being muscled by Williams. Dixon at the baseline, so quick off his feet.
This is a really good Maryland basketball team, putting all the pieces together at the right time.
Dick, this is a Final Four team. I've said it all year long. They have great talent, and they play well together. Battier.
Nice move by Battier, taking the ball to the basket. I couldn't agree more. I think Maryland, Arizona are such legitimate threats for the Final Four, and they've been sort of up and down. Maryland at one time was 15-9.
Baxter with that height advantage in there, and Morris with a huge follow. No, he was in the cylinder.
Yeah, it was a good call. Excellent call by Michael Wood. Excellent call.
Gary Williams stares but doesn't argue. Maryland had a 10-0 lead. Now they're up 12-5 over the Blue Devils of Duke. Maryland over Duke 12-5. Terrence Morris has been criticized at times for not living up to all that potential. We asked Gary Williams about it, and he's one of Terrence Morris's biggest defenders.
I don't know what people expected out of Terrence Morris. I really don't. His rebounding has been a force. He's been 1 or 2 most of the year in the ACC in rebounding, and he's really helped us in a lot of ways. He blocks shots. He's a very good passer for a guy 6'9", and he's another guy we can put out there that can run the court.
What people wanted out of him was a performance at the end of a game like a Forte or a Battier or a Williams would give you. A guy who you look to, who takes over at the end. He's never really done that.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. What's happened, he's teased a lot of people. You see that great potential, and then unfairly to the kid, people expect him to be a superstar every moment on the floor. But the bottom line is he's had a pretty good career when you look at his numbers.
Oh, he has. There's the lob to Williams. Can't quite get it. Out of bounds to Duke.
Tough play to really execute right there against that size of Maryland, but they almost had a perfect pass to Jason.
Kid has a great attitude about the game, too.
Oh, just great personality. He and Duhan play so well together.
Duhan with a runner.
There's the two of them executing. What a tandem. And they're going to be back together next year. So quick. Have great basketball IQs.
Blake, nice crossover. Baxter against Love. Love gives him a little muscle there. Battier reaches in to steal. Shane Battier, such a brilliant defensive player his entire career. And Nate James can't finish the layup. That would have cut it to 3.
You know, Reggie Love, a quick kid, a football player, wide receiver, doing double duty. He's working out with the football team as well, doing the spring workouts, playing basketball. There he is battling Baxter inside.
Tough pass, controlled by Mouton. Morris.
What a size advantage inside. Got to go to Morris. They missed him.
Dixon for 3, off the mark. Offensive rebound to Baxter and a foul on Baxter for a push.
And the reason he got called for a foul was the excellent job by Reggie Love laying the body on him, keeping him away from the basket. And he's giving up a lot of size to the wide body and a strong physical force that Baxter is. This Gary Williams, that blue demeanor, very low-key, very passive. It's really worked beautifully. They say he's a changed guy on that sideline.
How long do you think that'll last? Battier stripped by Morris. Wonderful defensive play by the senior.
Look at Blake. His head is up all the time. The human assist.
Morris close to 5 seconds, and then he threw it past Dixon. Sunday on ESPN at 5, the NCAA Women's Tournament Selection Special presented by State Farm. SportsCenter comes up at 6. At 6:30, the Men's Tournament Selection Special. My partner will be there along with Chris Fowler, Digger Phelps, Jay Phillips, Mike Tirico. And at 8 o'clock, college hoops tonight.
Should be a great show. Can't wait to be part of that.
Miller is in for Mouton from Maryland. Sanders screens for Battier. Under pressure. Drains the three. It was knocked to the floor.
No foul call. Really surprised that the All-American didn't get the call. Sanders with a good screen made that happen for Shane Battier.
The Blue Devils withstood a 10-0 start. They're back within 2.
Battier really battling Morris inside, trying to deny the ball.
Dixon. Out of the corner, Blake. Dixon gets the loose ball. He missed. Look at a size advantage for Maryland, and then a foul inside against the Terps.
I tell you, Shane Battier knows how to read using the screen, Mike. A lot of kids have no idea how to use the screen. We're going to watch Sanders now. He's going to step up here and lay a screen for his partner. There it is. Look at him. He says, thanks a lot for the screen, baby. And then he goes to the deck. And that was not an acting job. That wasn't a Jack Nicholson. It looks like he got really knocked down.
Duke has hit 4 of its last 6 after missing 11 in a row. Duhan. Very quick into the lane, tries to bank, won't go. Sanders will be called for a foul over the back.
Yeah, Reggie Kofor with the call on Sanders. They just want him to be very active. I know he has a tendency, in fact, in the Maryland game, when Carlos Boozer went out in that game, I mean, Duke was leading. He went out, he was playing brilliantly. In fact, Carlos in that game had 16 points, 7 rebounds, and had come off a game prior to that when he had 20 points and 13 rebounds against Wake Forest. But Sanders went in, he had 4 fouls in 4 minutes.
Boozer, with that broken bone in his foot, said this morning he felt really good. He's got the boot off of it. Reach in by Nate James, knocked it away from Baxter.
James did a great job defensively.
Williams into the lane, got the roll.
What a nice change of direction by Jason Williams to get in that 3-second area. They're very optimistic about Carlos Boozer being ready for the tournament.
What a comeback by Duke.
Well,
down by 10-0. It's 12-12.
Mike, you're not surprised that they're not going away.
No. Dixon. Looked like 3 Duke players got a hand on that. Pretty tough to intimidate this crowd. In fact, any player on this court for either team. All right, Chris Fowler has now checked into the studio. I guess Digger doesn't get a break.
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, Chris has these unbelievable hours. He's like this superstar. Since he got married, he must know the right people at ESPN that you and I don't know, because he has got superstar hours, and I don't like it one bit. I got seniority, and I don't have his hours.
Maryland has been on a tear in its last 6 ball games. The Terps cutting a swath through the top 25 during that record, 6-0. Better than 83 points a game. They have knocked off 5 top 25 teams during that 6-game streak.
They've been punishing people, really punishing people with that good balance, inside, outside, depth, bench. We're seeing some of the bench right now, holding on the floor. Miller.
Taj Holden's number 45. Miller's played very well lately. He started the season with one of the forward spots, and then Mouton took over. Dixon couldn't hold that one. Nate James swiped it.
Nate James really handled going to the bench really well, coming off the bench.
Dixon off the Battier miss on the run. Miller fouled, and the bucket.
That was a great pass, Mike. What a great pass. Getting that 45-degree angle, drilling the bounce pass to the cutter. What a tremendous pass to be able to make that play become real. 14 foul. Take a look right here. Filling the break. Juan Dixon showing his versatility, drilling that bounce pass to the open cutter.
Jason Williams gets the foul, and Danny Miller will go to the line.
Yeah, right past Jason Williams to get that pass through.
Miller makes it a 3-point play, and Maryland's lead is 3. Terps would like to increase that tempo. Duke is so thin. They'd like to run them right into the ground if they could.
Well, you know, Duke's really playing without any threat offensively in the post.
Dunleavy, tough shots.
Oh, nice play. Foul. J.C. Sanders with good offensive rebound. It's all they want out of him. I'll tell you, if he could start giving positive minutes, which he's starting to show that he can, I mean, that's going to be a plus when they get Boozer back.
A huge boost.
I mean, he's active. He can block shots. He's quick.
Taj Holden, who can shoot from outside. Miller. Offensive foul. Great job by Dunleavy.
See, I don't think there's a team in America that takes the charge better than Duke.
Never has been.
Exactly.
These guys play great defense.
8 turnovers already for Maryland. That's really testing. That's really testing Gary's patience. As you see Dunleavy taking the charge.
You put that shoulder down, you're asking for the charge call. Williams under pressure. Sanders, good hesitation, and then he's fouled by Taj Holden.
They're trying to get some confidence. They want confidence out of Mr. Sanders. Hey, you know what a great story today? Hofstra winning with Jay Wright. I'll tell you why. As you look at Carlos Boozer on that sideline, told me yesterday that things are progressing well with his broken bone in his foot. Hofstra has won 18 games in a row, and they will not be an easy out. Jay Wright, a lot of people should start thinking about that guy with major jobs opening, because he can flat out coach. The former assistant at Villanova. In fact, I believe he was there at one time with Paul Hewitt.
Sanders misses the first. Not a good free throw shooter, only 55%. And missed them both. Martisic with a rebound. Blake kicks it ahead to Miller. Holden wants the ball low against Sanders. Taj Holden against the double team.
And that's their game plan. We're going to try to attack on the inside, take advantage of the lack of depth and the lack of size inside for Duke.
Dunleavy, good fake, and got Miller in the air. He'll draw a three-point foul.
Dunleavy really struggled. I've never seen him struggle as much as yesterday, Mike. He really had a tough time shooting the basketball.
Maryland fans didn't like the call, but Miller was obviously coming down into him. That had to be a foul.
Well, it had to be a foul, but I think what their argument is, and what Gary's argument is, not shooting. Not shooting. He initially was shooting the ball. I think Gary's right.
That's a good point. It was.
I think Gary's right.
Because Dunleavy just waited for him to come back down.
Now you watch this.
Look.
Now the first time he's going to try to shoot. Now see, right there. But right now, he's not in a shooting position. No way. No way. That was a great... Gary Williams, 100% right there with that beef that he's had.
Dunleavy hits the second. He'll get another. The lead is 2.
Look at Gary shaking his head. I'm telling you, he's trying to be calm, cool, and collected. He wants to be the 3C man. Normally, he'd be explosive right now. He would have compounded that upset into a T.
17-15.
What an
Maryland has
afternoon.
hit 2 field goals in the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. A 10-point lead, long gone. Mouton back in. This is Holden. Good head fake to get past Sanders. Dixon baseline. Juan Dixon is a killer as a shooter.
He's a star. There's no doubt about it. He is absolutely a star in college basketball. And the only reason he doesn't get a lot more publicity is because Joseph Forte is out of that second guard slot.
Battier short on the 3. And Battier is knocked down. That's going to be a 3-shot foul. Taj Holden has been guilty of that a lot this year. He'll run right at the long-range shooter and then bangs into it.
It's the second time it's happened today. A 3-point shooter is going to go to the line for 3.
Tar Heels back in the hallway waiting to see who they will play tomorrow.
They made no bone about it. They made no bone about it to Brad Daugherty when he asked them, who do you want to play? They said loud and clear, we want Duke.
So much for political correctness.
Yeah, because a lot of people said they want Duke.
Yeah, we don't care. You know, we'll play anybody. They want Duke.
Mike Krzyzewski said there's a lot of people that have wanted us over the years.
Battier will get one more chance to tie it. Morris will come back in the ballgame. Holden will sit down with 2 fouls.
Gary Williams did a great job in the Big Ten at Ohio State, Boston College, and the Big East. He's had a taste of all the major conferences, basically.
How about American, where he started? Yeah. He had no chance to win there and did anyway.
Did a fine job when I was coaching back in high school years ago when he was in high school in Camden, New Jersey.
Morris trying to back in on Battier. Nice feed to Drew Nicholas in the ballgame. Martisic with a tip in.
I tell you, what a nice bench. You could bring in Nicholas, Martisic, Holden, Wilcox, who I think is going to become a star for them eventually.
Yeah, they're loaded. They can go 10 deep, and all 10 guys can play. Jason Williams short on a pull-up jumper, but he got the bounce.
It's amazing how all Americans get that kind of bounce and that kind of roll. That's
Casey Sanders just went down hard. Mike Krzyzewski's heart is probably up in his throat. He looks like he's going to be all right. I mean, there is no margin for error for this team as far as available bodies is concerned.
And they also missed the kid all year who they were going to really count on, 6'10", Nick Horvath.
It was huge because he could have played 3 different spots for them. So rotated a lot of people in and out of the ball game. Mouton.
Duke very aggressive on a defensive end. Really has to rely on that pressure on the basketball.
Williams called for the foul.
Williams said, wait a minute, I caught an elbow in my face. I caught an elbow.
That's 2 on Jason Williams. He and Dixon were going at it.
You know one player that really would have helped Duke? He was part of that class with Battier and Avery and company. Chris Burgess, who transferred.
Yes, he will.
Oh, Chris Burgess now playing for Utah. They got beat the other day. New Mexico, Franny Frischella, doing a heck of a job.
Martisic was double teamed. Nice pass from Morris to Nicholas.
Nice unselfish play. I tell you, the body language of the kids at Maryland, they seem to be playing with so much more spirit, the confidence. You can just see it with every bounce.
And still, Maryland's only up by 2 points, Dick.
Yeah, because they're playing against a great bunch of players.
Battier for 3, well short. Mouton on the run. Nicholas looks at Gary Williams for what he wants on this possession.
He's really improved his ball handling skills. He was strictly a shooter last year.
Martisic caught in the baseline, threw it right to Duke.
James. He's got James.
He'll take it himself against Nicholas. They blow the opportunity, and Martisic with a rebound.
I am shocked because normally he has great vision and a great feel. That ball should have went to James.
Here's the reach in by
What a steal.
Took it away
What
from
a
Nicholas.
steal.
Williams back the other.
What a pass. Are you kidding me? That's like Jason Kidd. Jason Williams, the best guard in America.
Tied at 23.
What a pass. What a steal by Duhan.
Poor pass. Morris saves it at the baseline. They leave him alone, so take the shot, and then he's fouled by Love. 2 on Love. This is one of these games. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, we're going to see the steal by Duhan. What a great pick. Now watch Jason wrap it around. Find the open man, and James with the conversion.
This is one of these games, if you didn't have a scoreboard, somebody to ask you what the score was, you'd say Maryland by 8, 9 points, and it's tied.
No question. I mean, they came out up 10-zip, dominating.
Morris misses the free throw. He's 6th in the ACC from the line, 80.6. Gary Williams continues to shuttle players in and out.
You always have a chance to win when you got the kind of ball handlers and the kind of skilled shooters that Duke has. With the three-point shot, as we've talked about, being so dominant in college basketball, they have 4 guys that could all knock that trifecta down.
7:26 to go first half. Chris, absolutely, because you've got Stanford, Michigan State, and Illinois all going down this weekend. That leaves Duke and North Carolina as the 2 teams in the top 5 that have not lost, at least yet.
Well, I'm going to go to my VBDI, my Vital Ball Dome
Always
Index,
works.
and I'm going to tell you right now, Mr. Fowler, just listen to me. Stanford in the West, #1. Midwest has just been wrapped up by Michigan State, #1 in the Midwest, and either North Carolina or Duke will be #1 in the East, and the other team will be #1 in the South. Right here, don't need a computer, don't need committee members. Trust me, there's your 4 #1 seeds.
It's a good-looking dome, too. Maryland by 1. Duhan to bring it up against pressure. Got to beat that 10-second line. Nice pass to Love.
We've seen a lot of guys left open today. Hey, Brad Doherty, why do we see breakdowns defensively like that?
What happens is there's so much pressure on the perimeter, Dick. Guys get wandering out. You get caught in between. You forget to go back to the basket. Guys, step in. If you're smart, you're wide open. Perimeter defense creates that lapse in the back.
Baxter gets the bucket inside, draws the foul. That's on Love. That's 3 on Reggie Love.
There's Reggie Love right there, right in the defense, breaks down, trying to put, as Brad said, a lot of pressure on the perimeter. Wide open, lack of communication. I think a lot of times players break down, they don't communicate.
Love out of Charlotte, North Carolina, off the football team, and Baxter completes the 3-point play.
You know, Maryland only loses Morris. They are going to be outstanding next season. I mean, they're going to have a heck of a year. I mean, the last year at Cole Fieldhouse, Hate to see that place go down, but the new one is supposed to be phenomenal, and all the students are going to be all around the court.
Dunleavy to Battier, guarded by Morris. What a great defensive matchup that is. James, good fake down the lane. Nate James partially blocked at the end. Battier with a foul.
Battier hanging around. Come on a Detroit Country Day. The same high schooler produced, who I think is a leading contender for MVP in the NBA, Chris Webber.
Battier with a reach-in steal on Baxter. Battier already has 10 points, a couple of steals.
Well, 2 years in a row, the Defensive Player of the Year. He's won that award. Only two other guys won it 3 times. Stacey Augmon of UNLV and Tim Duncan.
Great move to get by Morris. Battier has a dozen, and Duke has taken the lead.
Tell me he's not our National Player of the Year. That's why I wrote my ballot out for Mr. Battier. Offense, defense, leadership.
He is unbelievable. Blake guarded by Duhon. Blake trying to get inside, pulls up from 16. What a shot!
Nice little one-on-one maneuver by Blake. He's really improved his offensive game in terms of scoring rather than just relying on distributing the rock.
Gary Williams did a great thing before the Wake Forest game. He told his kids, if you're open and you have a shot, you better take it or you're coming out. What he was trying to do was loosen them up, and it worked. Battier for 3. Christensen offensive, or check it, Dunleavy. Christensen had a piece of it, then there's a foul inside.
You know, Dunleavy's a better rebounder than people give the kid credit for. He's got that thin body, but he's very wiry. His dad was such a player down in South Carolina, now coaching in Portland with the Trailblazers. He's really upset with himself because he didn't have a good game yesterday, and he knows it.
Christensen at the line. Hard to believe he's still only a junior.
You know, Mike,
been there forever.
Yes, sir. He's been around. He went on a mission as well, didn't he not? You know, last year the committee didn't have the luxury of seeing Cincinnati play without Kenyon Martin.
Right.
And they were punished. They've had a chance to see Duke without Carlos Boozer, and I think they've had to come away kind of impressed.
I would think. Duke by 1. Blake all the way underneath to Dixon.
Nice pass.
Has a 3, hesitates, then missed it. Christensen with a rebound.
Nice rebound by Christensen. A little hesitation, a little tentative right there shooting the ball by Blake.
Battier with a long 3. Dixon on the run.
They got numbers. They got numbers.
Dixon missed the shot, got the rebound. Christensen got a piece of it. Then Dunleavy corrals the loose ball. And I'll tell you why Juan Dixon pulled up on that, because he saw Battier waiting in the lane. Battier baseline. Loose ball, bodies fly. Possession arrow will give it to Maryland.
A lot of pride on that floor, a lot of emotion between the coaches as well. A lot of pride at stake. Both guys are such fierce competitors, both such winners. You know, they're friendly and everything away from the court. But on the court, man, on the court, they are after each other.
Jason Williams had gotten a rare breather. He's back in the ballgame. Christensen will go out, so Duke goes to a smaller lineup with Sanders in the middle.
Former West Point cadet. In fact, his mentor, Mr. Robert Montgomery Knight, I firmly believe will be going to Texas Tech once he visits. I think he'll love it. Oh,
Morris with a follow.
Offensive rebound by Mr. Morris, hanging around the basket.
Terrence Morris has 9. Maryland regains the lead. Boy, Blake does a great defensive job against Williams. He has all year. Nate James for 3.
You know, Nate James was terrific for 3/4 of the season, and then he went into a 2-week slide. They brought Duhon in to start to give another ball handler and quicker player against North Carolina, and seems to have given him that lift.
Baxter put it up and in. Lonnie Baxter with that power in the middle.
And there's the edge on the inside. Goes to Baxter. He plays on Jason's right hand. Really strong play.
Great spin move. Sanders offensive rebound. Whacked from behind by Morris. Blake tries to save it.
You know what he did wrong there, Mike? So many big guys have that same tendency. He brought the ball to the floor, and he made himself a 5'11" player instead of a 6'11" player.
And one of the prime players in this first part of the ball game has been Shane Battier. He's done an excellent job. I think the reason he's such an outstanding player is he continues to move at all times, whether it's defensively or offensively. You see him on the floor. You see him strip the ball here. He blocks shots, and you know he can shoot the trifecta, baby, as Dick says. Excellent player who continues to move at all times. Let's go back to you, Mike and Dick.
Brad, I think the one stat we ignored to mention that he may lead the ACC in over his career is floor burns. He spends more time down there trying to go for loose balls.
What about 123 wins in his career? Think about that.
That's the most all-time.
123, Mike. I mean, you don't have to be a mathematical genius to figure that's over 30 a year. 30 a year. There was a time when you won a 20-game win season. They were building monuments for you as a coach.
Right. They named the court after you. Duke inbound the lob to Sanders. Good defense by Mouton, but Sanders scores anyway.
I'll tell you one thing. That is a plus that they're getting quality minutes. QM, baby. Quality minutes out of Casey Sanders.
And it brings a smile to the face of Carlos Boozer. Miller, there's the double team. Thought they had a 5-second count. Miller goes into the lane and scores.
Nice move by Miller. I like the way he's handled the fact that losing his starting job, hasn't pouted and sulked about it.
Didn't play all that well through most of the season, but the last 5 or 6 games, he's been tough. Blocked from behind as Williams goes down the lane.
Gary Williams stared at Carl Houses with a little laugh. Look at a little laugh. Look at Gary, that laugh. You know what? I have a lot of respect for Gary. Right after he got beat by Duke in that unbelievable game, 12 hours later, I saw him at the Super Bowl, taking pictures with everybody. I couldn't believe it.
Dunleavy missed a 3. They get it back to him again. We're tied at 35 with 2:54 and counting first half. Williams down the lane, kicks it out to James. Likes that shot from the corner. Sanders kept it alive. Williams. Sanders getting the foul. Sanders is doing a heck of a job inside.
This is the best I've seen Casey Sanders before. This is by far his best moment of action against the strengthened side of Maryland. There's the missed jump shot by James. Now look at him right here, being very aggressive. Now watch him go off the offensive board, keeping the ball alive, and then having the ability to convert. Look at Gary. He's challenging his people. He's challenging his people.
The foul was on Mouton, his second, and Duke remarkably has 12 offensive rebounds already in this game.
And when you're offensively rebounding like that, that's a sign that you're playing aggressive basketball. When you offensive rebound, when you block shots, you force turnovers and steals. A 3-to-1 ratio right now, as Sanders has 3 of those offensive rebounds.
And Sanders has 7 points to give Duke a 3-point lead.
Look at a triple team.
Holden back in. Baxter double team, reach in by Duhan in the steal. Duke's so quick.
Duhan really does an amazing job attacking the basketball.
Battier, nice hesitation, goes inside and hits the jumper.
Don't tell me he can't play at the next level and be an outstanding player.
He can play at any level.
Oh, I hear NBA guys say that, Brad Doherty, and I can't believe it. This kid can play.
40-35, Duke has come back to take the lead. Duke with a 5-point lead on Maryland. We've talked about Shane Battier's exploits on the court. One of his favorite moments in his college days has come off the court.
Every year I take part in the Duke University Improv Show. I've gotten up on stage every year and made a complete fool out of myself every year and drawn a lot of laughs. I got up on stage, I ripped off my clothes, had a full suit on, and danced with the cheerleaders. Probably the best and the worst.
I'll tell you one thing, you know, it really is. He embodies all of what school is about. The total student athlete who really encompasses the entire university. He dates a young lady by the name of Heidi Ufer from down at Villanova, and her granddaddy, you ready for this, was the voice for years. You know, Bob Ufer was the voice of Michigan football. He used to Michigan.
He's got to stay away from the media types, you know, it could ruin his career.
I'll tell you one thing also, when you look at Shane Battier, I heard him sing one time. He better not sing. He's human.
No.
He can't sing.
Singing and dancing, he's not real good. Everything else, he's sensational. Maryland has had 12 turnovers in the first half. Duke has had 1. That's remarkable against the Maryland defense that is so quick.
I mean, it's amazing. They're shooting 20 more shots than Maryland as well.
Miller. Taj Holden with a shot block at 10, and Taj Holden can hit it from anywhere.
I'll tell you, that kid is going to be a heck of a player in the future as well. You talk about the depth, when they can go to the bench for guys like Holden and Wilcox and Martisic and Miller and Nicholas.
Look at the disparity in field goals. Maryland is shooting 67%, but Duke's had so many more shots. Coming up at halftime, Carolina has advanced to the finals here. We'll take a look at the SEC and the Big 12 semifinals. Chris and Digger will be along.
What amazing stories. I know Chris and Digger are going to take them all apart, even though, you know, when I'm in the studio there, Chris, it's roast Dickie V time. I mean, the guy roasts me left and right. It's unbelievable. And I usually get paid big time for that, but that's okay. I'll get even with him one day. I'll get even. That's why I love being here with you and Nestler and Musburger. You guys treat me like really so warm and caring.
I like RDV, roast Dickie V time. That's good. It's always time for RDV. I'll remember that.
I hope they put up my seeds up there, my #1 seeds.
Holden hits both free throws, tied again at 41, 25 to go first half.
What a great first half. I'll tell you, what a spirited, big-time college basketball environment. This is tournament action, baby.
Blake all over Duhan. Duhan penetrates down the lane, can't hit it.
There's Blake with the rebound. What a championship environment here. 40,000.
Juan Dixon. I'm amazed that one didn't go down.
He said, why not? I'll get another one.
Dixon again.
Don't give me another one. Don't give him another one.
He's a great, great shooter.
Don't give him another one. A TO by the Dukies, baby. Juan Dixon.
Juan Dixon hasn't taken enough three-pointers to rank in the top 5 all year, but boy, can he drain them.
I tell you, he is for real, Mr. Dixon, and he's no Nixon, I'll tell you that. He is Mr. Dixon. He can flat out shoot. There it is. Then that second opportunity now. There's the offensive rebound. Inside, outside, and the end, nothing but nylon.
You've got to watch the political references. You know, you'll go over the head of a few folks.
You know, I'm trying to show that I'm a little bit, you know, I got balance in my life. I'm not just one-dimensional with hoops.
The Renaissance man, Dick Vitale. Maryland has responded. An 8-0 run in the last 46 seconds. If you joined us late, they started with a 10-0 lead, and Dixon was 7 points and 4 boards already. Very good rebounder, and the leading steal man in the ACC. Battier gets it into James.
You know, everybody will start questioning, will Duke get fatigue? Hey, let me set the record straight. They've been playing with these number of guys all year, so that's no factor, no factor.
Well, it might be tomorrow. Nate James goes underneath. Christensen picks up the loose ball, and he will draw the foul. Looks like Wilcox.
They hope they have that problem tomorrow.
Yes, they're hoping for the opportunity to have the problem. 42.5 seconds to go first half. Christensen will go back to the line.
Trying to get some quality minutes inside. They want Christensen basically to rebound, defend, lay some screens.
Came to school in the fall of '95, played a little as a freshman, then went on a 2-year mission, then redshirted for a year. He's still only a junior. He got there in '95. His college career is longer than yours.
Well, I'll tell you this. Why would you want to leave that beautiful campus?
Absolutely.
You go to schools like Duke and Carolina, you don't want to leave. Maryland, I guess, as well.
Christensen looks good on both of them, and the lead is cut to 1.
Well, you know, Christensen and Sanders have not hurt them here today.
Not at all. Battier with a block. Morris gets it back. Baxter with a foul.
There's Mr. Baxter. Good offensive rebound. Baxter so strong. Such a physical force. The space eater.
Boy, bodies are flying, too. Wait till you see the next 20 minutes. Duke playing for the last shot.
Trying to get good spacing. Spread the court. Oh, what a steal by Dixon. What a great job.
Dunleavy bothered the shot. Nate James gets it out to Duhan. Chance to get the final shot anyway. Duhan back to James for 3. Good if it goes. Short. Heck of a first half. Maryland hangs on for a 45-42 lead. Baxter with 9 for Maryland, but Battier leads all scorers for the Blue Devils. He has 14. That's the story from Atlanta. back to the studio, Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps.
All right, Mike and Dick, thank you. It was a fun first half, Digger. Duke, the 0 for 11 start. They recover, but then Maryland makes a push at the end of the half.
Especially Baxter. He's been tough, and that's one thing you got to do. Try to attack him inside. Gary wants the running game. Mike's got to say, hey, guys, we got to get hot with our shot. The guy that really has been slow for Duke to me is Mike Dunleavy. He went 2 for 12 yesterday. He's 0 for 5 in this first half. He's got to find his range. They need his points because they don't have a bench. Well, coming up in the 7-Up halftime report, we'll have the whole national roundup. It's been a very uneasy last 24 hours for the bubble teams, and the surprises continue in the Big Ten tournament. Illinois and Indiana, that plus the SEC, Big 12, and more coming up.
ESPN's presentation of Championship Week, presented by 7-Up, is brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Presentation of Championship Week, presented by 7-Up, is brought to you by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
We're at the half, game 2, ACC semifinal Saturday. Maryland on top of Duke, 45-42. Welcome back to the Georgia Dome, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale, Brad Daugherty's with us. Our entire ESPN crew is here. Excellent first half. Duke overcomes a 10-0 run and missing his first 11 shots. Now they're within 3.
I think it's amazing that they're 3 points down when you think about this. Duhan and Williams are 2 for 13 between them. You got Mr. Dunleavy is 0 for 6. And they're right now 3 down. They've only turned the ball over 3 times. And that's what's kept them in the game. They have taken care of the basketball.
Take a look at the New York Life first half statistics. Maryland shooting 62% from the floor, but they have 12 turnovers. That's the big difference in the ball game. Duke with only 3, so the Blue Devils hanging in, getting some easier baskets off of those turnovers.
And Maryland's done a great job of containing the three-point shooting of Duke. I mean, Duke is 3 for 13, but the amazing story is they're only 3 behind.
Jason Williams for 3 to tie. That's how quickly they can burn you.
I mean, he's capable of putting together big halves. I remember earlier this year he had 0 at the half against NC State and put 22 on the board in the second half.
He has 7 right now. Blake tries to go baseline, stepped out of bounds.
I mean, they didn't waste any time. They went right to him off a screen, off a call play. There's the little screen, the curl move, the catch, and the finish with a hand right in his face. He drains the trifecta. NBN, nothing but nylon.
Williams and Battier are as cold-blooded of three-point shooters as you will ever
What a nice
find.
pass.
Great pass. Sanders goes in, and he'll draw the foul on Morris.
Nice two-man play right there, Williams and Sanders. Sanders has a tendency, though, Mike, to always bring the ball down rather than just explode and go right to the basket with it. From out of Tampa, Florida. Now watch this little two-man game. So he's going to get right in the lane. There's the kick down. See, he brings it down a little bit. It hesitates. You got to take that ball and catch and bring it right to the rack.
Of course, he is very inexperienced. He's only hit 1 out of 4 from the free throw line.
You know, Mike certainly knows his personnel a heck of a lot better than I do. But I've been saying all year long, I can't understand why this kid wasn't getting 12 to 14 minutes a night.
In and out on the second one. 1 for 5 from the line for Sanders.
But that's not going to be his strength, shooting free throws. He's going to rebound for you, block some shots.
But you have to do better than 1 out of 5.
Yeah, you got to make some of those, obviously. And Miss Morris, he's wide open.
Morris now way outside. Nice move to get by Battier. Sanders is there to swat it away.
And that's what he does really well. Block shots. Look at him run the court. It's the first one down.
Williams for 3, and Duke is back on top. Jason Williams is
baby.
bombs in a row.
And he gets the TO. Gary Williams. Jason Williams, the All-American, the PT peer. He's flat out awesome, baby, with a capital A. From coast to coast, there is not a better guard in America than Jason Williams.
Duke, when they get in that open court situation, Dunleavy did a nice job screening off the defenders so Williams was going to be wide open on the 3. They play that just so very well.
Well, they also do a great job of spreading the court, using the entire 94 feet. And they're going to watch Dunleavy right now. See, here he is on this end of the floor. Watch this right here. And then now, look at this here, a little bump. He gets a little bump on Mouton to free Williams for that shot, so Mouton couldn't step out. That's just a team concept, playing together.
Jason Williams hits his first 2 3-point efforts in the second half. He was only 2 out of 8 from the floor in the first half.
Mike, one word epitomizes Duke basketball: unselfish.
Duke on top 48-45. They've scored the first 6 points in the second half.
See, right now, I think about going inside the Baxter.
Blake had a chance for a 3.
I'd get some touches for Baxter down in the box.
They get it to him. Sanders is going to be called for a hold. That'll be 3 on Sanders.
Yeah, that's been a problem with Casey throughout his early in his career, getting a lot of minutes, is the fact that he does get himself into foul trouble. Had 4 in 4 minutes against Maryland when Maryland beat them over at Cameron Indoor Stadium. 2 years in a row, they sent Duke to the losers' locker room.
Reggie Love got some minutes in the first half, and he picked up 3 quick fouls. Now Jason Williams gets another one. That's 3 on Jason Williams.
I really believe, as we talked about earlier, that North Carolina or Duke, whoever advances the furthest, will become the #1 seed in the East and go to Greensboro, and the other will go to the South.
Morris with a long 3. Baxter with a foul.
They got to go to Baxter. Get Baxter some touches. Duke doesn't have the physical strength to neutralize him on the inside.
Battier the trailer.
And that's where they missed Boozer in that matchup against Baxter.
Duhan will reset it.
Excellent passer, Chris Duhan. Great vision. Only was 1 for 5 in that first half, though.
Battier over Morris and got a 3.
I mean, does he square his body really well? He gets that great look at the basket.
And Terrence Morris is a terrific defender at 6'8". Battier down on the floor again after the loose ball. Williams comes out with it. Duke up by 4, looking for more. Dunleavy for 3. They've hit 4 3-point shots at the start of the half.
How unselfish. The extra pass, finding the open man, shooting the trifecta. The 3-point shot has revolutionized the game. And Duke utilizes it better than anybody in America. They lead the nation in terms of 10.7 threes made per game.
And Gary Williams really going after referee Reggie Kofer after that steal at the other end. He wanted a foul.
Take a look at the unselfishness of the Duke team. We're going to see the kick out to Mr. Williams, the reversal, and the swing. And Michael Dunleavy finally knocks the shot down. There's Williams under control. And that's the first shot he has made today, Mr. Dunleavy.
You know, Dick, we talk about shooters getting on a streak, but there are team streaks, too.
Exactly.
One guy hits a jumper, next guy comes down, he hits one. Everybody feels hot.
Well, I'll tell you, the great asset of Duke is the fact that they have 4 guys that can really flat out shoot the 3, and they also have great ball handlers. 4 for 4 here in the second half with the trifecta. I mean, 7 for 17 now, and that has been their story all year long. Shoot the 3, and wear you down, because eventually they're going to fall.
Duke with its biggest lead of the ball game, 54-47. Morris can't handle a pass.
Whether they win this game or lose this game, with a healthy Carlos Boozer coming back in 2 weeks, and it looks very optimistic, they would be my team predicting to win the national championship.
Maryland has turned it over 15 times. Williams. Good pressure by Blake, and maybe an ill-advised shot by Williams.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Maryland did a great job defending the perimeter on that shot.
And Jason Williams may have hurt a finger.
They can't afford any injuries with the depth they have.
Morris can't hit it. Here comes Duhan.
So quick. Duhan gives him that extra ball handler and that quickness when he's on the floor as a starter.
Duke can score points so fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, does the 3 again.
Shane Battier has 20.
Tell me that young man will not be a star player at the next level. That I haven't been around basketball for 30 years, Mike.
Well, all I know is one of the best players I ever saw anywhere. Baxter, loose ball. Here comes Duke again.
Got the open man.
Williams. What a block by Baxter.
He wanted to make that pass. Great play by Baxter. He wanted to make that pass to Duhan.
Morris into the lane. Battier!
Got to score it. You got to score it.
Juan Dixon short.
Maryland got robbed on that. That should have been definitely
like
a score. Yes, sir. That should have been a score.
Battier for 3. Oh, that would have brought the building down if he makes that one. It's 57-47 Duke.
And that would have been a volcano out of Gary Williams because that would have been a 5-point turnaround. They had that.
Well, he's going nuts. Baxter, offensive foul. Battier draws the charge. He's the best I ever saw at that.
And Duke is the best team in the nation in taking a charge. Gary got a raw deal there. That was definitely interference.
On the goaltend.
Yes, sir. You are right on that, baby. And Michael Woods letting him get his mind. There's no doubt. Right over the front of the rim. That ball is definitely coming down. You got to get the ball at its pinnacle, at its highest point.
Duke, 15-2 in the second half over Maryland. Duhon, great.
Oh, what a play right down the gut. He will become a superstar. Chris Duhon, D-U-H-O-N. Remember that name. He will be a star at Duke.
The lead has grown to 12. Blake knocked away by Battier, stolen by Battier, but out of bounds. Gary Williams has seen the Duke Blue Devils begin to take apart his Terps. 15:30 to go in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the overhead scoop.
We know about Arkansas. They can sure make up big deficits, but they can also blow leads. And Kentucky was down 10. They have rallied. The miss by Tayshaun Prince. Cliff Hawkins gets in the lane, gets the follow, and the Wildcats now have a 5-point lead inside of 7 minutes. Mike, Dick.
All right, Chris, it is a 12-point lead here. Shane Battier, one of the invisible things he does, all of his leadership. We asked Jason Williams to evaluate his teammate.
It's great, especially, you know, for myself. You know, if you mess up one time, just to look at him, and you see it kind of, you know, especially, you know, this time of year, you see it kind of, you know, burning his eye in his eye, and it just lets you know you have to fight for him, because you know it's gonna be one of his last times coming up, and you just want to leave everything out on the court for him.
Boy, and there's no doubt about that. He and Williams and all of his Duke teammates leave everything on the court every time they play.
Mike, you and I had the pleasure of being at courtside to see them hang these jerseys.
2-on-1, James, and he's clobbered by Taj Holden. Go ahead, Dick.
You know, that
we did. That was wonderful.
That was so special to see them put that jersey up there, and Duke at the Cameron Indoor Stadium join in 9 others, now 10, and I really believe if Jason Williams stays his entire 4 years, there'll be a ceremony for Jason. And I'll tell you, there's no money in the world, Mike, that can take that moment away. That's a golden moment. And the dollars are going to be there. I mean, they were there for Grant Hill and for Duncan and for guys like David Robinson. But the memories, those college memories are so special.
Nate James at the line.
I want to go to my buddy Brad Doherty, certainly a #1 pick in the draft and a superstar, and I like teasing him, and he does a great job for us. Hey, Brad, Shane Battier, I tell you, I get so frustrated talking to NBA guys who tell me that they're not sure how good he'll be at the next level, and therefore he's not in their mind as a top 3 or 4 pick. That blows my mind.
See, Dick, the problem with NBA basketball, it's all about the spectacular. It's all entertainment. So they're looking for people who do things spectacularly. Shane Battier is a very fundamentally sound basketball player. If I'm a GM of a basketball club, I'm looking for guys like Shane Battier so I can win basketball games. I'm not really impressed with the NBA product. I think it's all about entertainment. It's not about cohesiveness, playing together, being unselfish. This kid's going to be a great pro basketball player just because of what his fundamentals and his background. He'll do absolutely just fine.
Williams down the lane, contact and a block. Brad, I think you're absolutely right. And those are probably the same guys that said Mark Price couldn't play.
That's right. He could flat out. Mark Price, best shooter I've ever seen in the basketball. Everybody said he was too slow. He used to light it up.
Taj Holden knocks down Battier, and there is a foul on Holden. The Maryland bench explodes, and I don't know what their complaint would be about that foul. That's 4 on Taj Holden. Blake, great steal. Great bounce pass to Holden, and he charges into Battier. And they're going to call this a block. Holy cow.
That's a little makeup call right there. That's called making one up.
Boy, unless Battier moved at the last minute, he looked like he was planted.
Going to take a look right here. There's the pass to Holden. I mean, he's just standing.
Oh, that's an awful.
I mean, that's a bad call. That's a bad call.
So Holden will go to the line. The lead is 10. Got the bounce, cut it to 9.
You just know Maryland's not going away. They're just too talented.
They're wonderful.
There's no way. They're not going away. This team is too talented. They've been punishing people by better than 20 points a game in their last 6 W's, and 5 of them have been ranked basketball teams.
Boy, this is getting more physical. Carl has just separated Blake and Williams. These guys are going after each other tooth and nail.
What a matchup right here, Blake and Williams. Blake has always given Jason a lot of problems.
Battier against the double team, goes in against Baxter.
He's going to try to beat Baxter with quickness, not with power.
James slashes inside, blocked by Morris. Here comes Dixon. Got Blake open. Inside the three-point line, and he missed. That would have been a big one.
Little two-man game right there. Battier and Williams, the 2 All-Americans. So he set a screen up for him on high.
Williams got by. Blake kicks it to James in the corner for 3. Too strong. Baxter with another rebound.
They got to get some touches from Morris.
Juan Dixon leads into 1.
He's an outstanding baseline player. He's got such great speed. He's got super quickness, anticipates well defensively. The Terps are back. I said they'll be back. You know they're not going away.
Juan Dixon has 9. The lead's been cut to 7. ESPN's Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues tonight on ESPN at 6 Eastern. It's the A-10 UMass against Temple at 8. The AT&T Big East Final. Number 9, Boston College goes against upstart Pittsburgh.
I'll tell you one thing, you look at that matchup, if Mass wins and Pittsburgh wins, that's 2 bids that'll probably disappear for 2 at-large bids in terms of the heavyweight conferences. I have 29 right now on my estimation coming out of the 6 power conferences.
What about Temple?
I think Temple's definitely in. I think no doubt about it. Oh, yeah, their schedule strength has been unbelievable. They have played such a quality, beating Indiana, playing Duke to 1 point. They've played some really tough teams, Mike. I think they're going to get their 12th consecutive berth into the NCAA. Speaking of that, North Carolina has had 26 consecutive years in the NCAA tournament, 16 consecutive by Arizona, and 15 by Indiana. I mean, that's amazing.
In spite of the numbers you just saw, Maryland on a 7-0 run to cut into this lead. Battier nearly knocked away by Dixon. Nate James for 3.
Not falling for him right now, getting a little cold.
Blake ahead to Dixon.
Dixon sneaks out in transition. Here come the Terps. Here come the Terps.
61-56. The Maryland fans on their feet. Now the Duke fans join them. This is exactly what we thought we'd get.
Well, you know, the Maryland really extended on the defensive end now, trying to contain that perimeter game.
Dixon going for steals every time. Sanders double team. Battier saves it. Shot clock at 9.
Duke not getting that wide open look at the 3.
Williams from.
Are you serious? Are you serious? He shot that from out of Marietta. He shot that from Marietta.
13 points for Williams.
That was Marietta, Georgia time.
Baxter missed a shot. Dunleavy with a loose ball.
I can't believe that 3. I mean, they had a hand in his face.
Brings it back out. Oh, Battier from downtown.
He said, I'm going to Dunwoody.
Here comes Blake behind the back dribble, but taken away by Williams. He gets it back to Miller. Boy, racehorse basketball. Dixon put it in the book. He missed it.
They got to get a hole right there on Dunleavy. I mean, that 3 was from Marietta. And Battier wanted to go to Dunwoody, a great suburb of Atlanta. Freeze it right here. I mean, are you kidding? Look at that 3. Wow.
So quick off his feet. And now Williams will get a breather. Duke with 6 of 11 3-point shots in the second half after being stone cold in the first half. Maryland has yet to hit one in this half.
I'll tell you, Jimmy Boeheim told me this summer at a banquet I spoke at, he said, let me tell you, Dick, I've coached all the great players on my team that he was coaching internationally. He said, I'm flat out telling you now, Jason Williams is the best guard in America. Salute Jimmy B. They should name a court after him down in the Carrier Dome, the Jim Boeheim Center Court.
Dixon guarded by Dunleavy. 11:53 to go in the ball game.
Go to Baxter. Right now, you got to bring the ball into Baxter. Sanders got 3 fouls. Not strong enough physically to play him.
Almost a 5-second count. Collision underneath. Ball goes out of bounds. 5 on the shot clock. Maryland will have it, and Gary Williams thought he should have gotten a foul on that play as Dixon was bumped at the baseline. Back to the ACC in a moment.
In the SEC semis, Kentucky is trying to finish off Arkansas. Tayshaun Prince, the nice feed. Right there at a Marvin Stone, cutting down the lane. The Wildcat lead is 10 now with 2 minutes to play in that one. And Penn State off to the very slow start, being out-rebounded 14-0 and down 14, guys.
All right, Chris, we have an 8-point game here with 11:41 to go. Number 2 Duke trying to advance over number 13 Maryland. They split during the regular season in 2 exciting ball games. Both teams shooting better and better as the game goes along. Duke now up to 37%, but the 3-point shots in the second half is what has done it for them. The turnover story still 16-5 in Duke's favor.
Well, Duke's really scored off that turnover. 20 points off the turnovers. They do an outstanding job of converting, forcing that quick TO, that turnover, and getting a deuce up the other end of the floor. What a great afternoon of basketball, huh, partner?
Terrific.
North Carolina squeaks by Georgia Tech.
Reach in, nearly a steal, and now Duke does get it as the shot clock expires. Excellent defense by Williams outside to force the action.
Poor job by Maryland in executing their half-court game. They should have went inside to Battier, the Baxter right against Sanders. Morris now trying to check Battier. He's going to run him off screens.
Dunleavy has to dump it down to Sanders, gets it back for 3 and hit it.
All of a sudden, Michael Dunleavy has found his shot.
What a smart play by Dunleavy. He knew he'd have it blocked. Dumps it right off to Sanders, who immediately gave it back to him.
Well, why not? I'd give it back to him, too.
Oh, yeah. Sanders ain't going to do much with it from 20 feet. But it was his awareness to know he would be open. Baxter powered it up, can't get it. Battier with a rebound. 67-56.
I tried to make the spectacular play there, and it wasn't available. Duhan trying to jam that into Sanders.
And then James knocks it away at the other end.
22 Williams.
I sit here and I think about, can you imagine this team if they had Elton Brand, Avery, and McGetty? They could have all been here. They could have all been here. There's that play. Now, look, give it back. I give it to you. You give it to me, and I tickle the twine.
But the intelligence of both players. Dunleavy knew his man was up in the air, so he'd be open if he moves. Sanders knows the same thing.
You know, I think about some of the college teams that could have been unbelievable. Chris Mimmet, Texas. Wow.
Baxter. Love hit him. Love apparently got away with one earlier. He gave him the body, then he hit him on the arm, and that's going to be 4 on Reggie Love.
Things continue to get better and better for Duke. Great recruits coming in, and Riddick got 2 commitments from 2 unbelievable juniors. Kid Riddick, who's a tremendous 3-point shooter. Howard Garfinkel called him one of the best he's ever seen, and I know Mike's excited getting that young man from Roanoke, Virginia, as they come up empty on the free throw line. And then sitting out is Dante Jones from out of Rutgers, who many a time my buddy Brent Musburger, who's in a house here watching the game, was at practice one day, and he thought Dante was the best player on the floor.
Baxter makes 1 of 2.
They got a kid named Michael Thompson committed from out of Illinois, 6'11", the junior.
Battier. Baxter with another rebound. He's done a great job on a board.
Oh, what a nice play. What a great play, what a human assist. Steve Blake, what a great play right there in traffic.
Maryland cuts it to 8 as we have hit 10 minutes on the clock.
Great look by Blake in transition. They are going to be a tough out in the NCAA tournament. Maryland and Arizona, keep an eye on both those clubs.
Love sets the screen for Jason Williams, a long 3. Wilcox with a rebound. Here comes Blake. It's been a game of runs, and it looks like it might be Maryland's turn.
Inside, Baxter got to want the ball.
Nicholas with a runner in the lane. Soft touch. It's a 6-point game.
Nice play by Nicholas, ducking into that 3-second area. They feel it. They're all fired up now. Those Terp fans are all fired up. Coach K gets a TO.
20, Sanders.
Well, you knew it was going to go this way. Both of these teams so proud of their ability, so proud of their effort, and neither one was just going to walk away from this.
You know, you think about this. Maryland at one time was 15-9. You think about Arizona was 8-5. I really believe when you think of 83 when Jimmy V cut the nets down and shocked America. You think of Villanova in 85, Rolly Massimino's perfect game. 88 when Kansas was 12-8 at the time, thinking NIT. And then 97, Arizona, 5th in the conference, and they win the NCAA championship, beating 3 number 1 seeds. Teams that were disappointing earlier in the year, like Maryland and Arizona, are capable of winning the national championship.
And then you've got the teams that have been good all year long, like Stanford and Duke and North Carolina. Who gets on a roll at that point? If one of these teams gets on a roll, I think the teams that have struggled don't have a chance.
Well, I think if they get back a healthy Carlos Boozer, I really think they'll get such a lift psychologically. And then with also now Sanders giving him contributing minutes and Reggie Love, I mean, that's got to be a positive plus. As you look at Carlos, he told us yesterday, he said, hey, I feel a lot better. I don't have any pain. I'm able to ride that bicycle. They're hoping to get him back.
Maryland is just hammering Duke on the boards, 38-23 in this game.
And we expected that. Marty Arnoff, our super stat man, working those stats. He helps to make us look pretty good, doesn't he, Marty?
He's the best.
Well, don't let it go to his head now. I don't want to hear he's the best. He's going to ask for a raise.
Went to his head a long time ago.
He's not going to have no cash for me.
Battier, baseline, tough shot. Sanders had it. Nate James comes up with it. He forces it up, and he's fouled.
It's amazing the way they're challenging inside when you look at James and Battier. They don't have the size that Maryland has.
Nicholas commits the foul. Championship week presented by 7-Up. We're at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. Mike Patrick, Nick Vitale, Brad Doherty, our entire ESPN crew, and the attendance, 40,083. It is an ACC tournament record.
And I know all those guys are in the studio sitting here. They're watching every game going on. Digger and Chris and Howie Schwab working the research, trying to make those guys look like stars, giving them all that material.
How about this for a crowd, though, Dick?
Unbelievable. I mean, I think Freddie Barricat's done a phenomenal job as the operations director in terms of putting this whole package together. I mean, this is the granddaddy. This is the uno number one when you talk about tournaments across America. The whole city has been phenomenal. The city of Atlanta, everybody's so friendly, everything really, so much going on, races, you name it.
Nate James hits a couple of free throws. The lead is back to 8. We're under 9 minutes left. Jason Williams done a good defensive job on Blake today. So does Duhan.
Nice penetration there by Blake. Good kick out.
Jason Williams,
wow, what a
serious
rebound.
hops as a guard. Gets a rebound off the miss from Mouton.
He's got some great hops. Now they're going to spread the court, manage the clock, put the ball in the hands of the best guard in the nation.
Dunleavy, nice job to get by Mouton in for the layup. There's the block by Baxter. And Mike Krzyzewski thought that was a goaltender.
That was very close, very close.
Boy, it's a tough call for an official to make.
Yeah, it really is. I got one eye, so I can't see it, so I'll let you make the call.
I can't see most of them with 2. That's one of those bang-bang jobs.
Gary made a set call right here. High post screen and a roll Baxter inside and get it to Baxter. They want to get it to Baxter.
Dunleavy ends up on Blake. Bad pass. Picked off by Mouton. Break for Maryland to Baxter. He missed the chance. Got it back and made this one.
I know they wanted to go to Baxter. That was their call. They get it on the offensive rebound.
69-63.
What a game. A lot of intensity, the emotion. You can feel it's like such a tournament flavor. Championship week.
Lonnie Baxter, 14 points, 11 rebounds for Maryland. Duke trying to take a little time off the clock.
Trying to put the ball in Williams' hands.
Shot clock's at 7.
They want him to drive with that basketball.
Battier goes around Wilcox underneath, and he'll draw the foul. They bailed him out on that one. Battier was not in a good shooting position.
Well, they went to an isolation, and we're either going to go to a driving move and maneuver by Williams or get Battier in an isolation one-on-one. They're going to go to the 2 All-Americans. There he is, spinning to the goal. Hey, when you get down late in the game right here, you're right, Mike. You didn't have a good angle for a shot right there, but you're late in the game now. Almost every possession you want to milk Battier and Williams.
Battier 3 out of 3 from the line. He has 20 points short on that one. 78% free throw shooter. And he's in the top 10 in the ACC in scoring, field goal percentage, free throw percentage, rebounding, steals, blocks, charges taken. You name it, he's there.
Has he earned scholarship?
Great point average.
You know, right there, a little bit short on that shot. Could be a little fatigue. Could be a little fatigue.
He plays an awful lot of minutes.
Jerry Tarkanian told me the other day on the phone, he missed again. That could be fatigue. That in all his years of coaching, that he's the most fierce, competitive kid he's ever seen.
69-63, Duke with 7:14 to go. All right, Chris, no Cinderella here. It's 69-63. Duke and Maryland, either one would be a worthy participant in tomorrow's championship game. Maryland still shooting 49%. Maryland with a big rebounding edge. And Michael Jordan.
Oh, wow. Wow. Mike, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to get an autograph. Hey, Brad Doherty, can you arrange? I get an autograph from Michael Jordan.
Hey,
can you help me out?
As a matter of fact, I was talking to Michael just a little while ago, Dick. He wants to know what number you are on the Duke basketball team. He told me to ask you that, as a matter of fact.
Oh, he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy.
He's going to bust your chops.
Number 23, Michael the Magnificent.
7:10 to go. Duke with a 6-point lead. Williams for 3. Huge shot. Jason Williams again, his fourth three-pointer. He has 16.
It seems almost after every timeout he converts. Came out at halftime, knocked down a monster 3.
They get great plays set up out of timeouts. Baxter with an air ball. Knocked out of bounds. It's out to Maryland.
That rest really helped them right there. Those timeouts a little bit longer. There's Battier going to his buddy. I said it almost every possession now, late in the game. You want to go to the 1-2 punch. And he delivered.
Blake gets it into Morris, who's been really quiet lately. Terrence Morris got up to such a great start in this game.
Dunleavy playing Wilcox.
Blake got into the lane, kicks it out to Morris for 3. Got it!
Terrence Morris delivers a big-time 3 to veteran player, versatile.
It's a dozen for Morris. It's 72-66.
Spreading the court.
Battier open. Short. Save to Dixon.
Shane has been short on his 2 free throws, on his 3. I don't know if it's his legs that he's a little tired.
Could be. Blake lost it. Out to Dunleavy.
He's got
Wilcox is back. This is to Sanders.
Oh!
Missed the jam, but fouled by Wilcox.
Oh, Casey Sanders had a jam. Would have brought the Duke faithful up out of their seats. There you are on transition. Battier kicks it out. Dunleavy spots Sanders. He wants to dunk. I'll tell you, good defensive play to just rotate over to bother him. And remember this, Mike, they're putting on a free throw line instead of a sure 2, a 1 for 5 guy.
And he is only 1 for 5 from the free throw line today. Sanders for the year, a 55% free throw shooter. Now he's 1 of 6.
Really struggling on that line.
5:59 to go in the game. The lead is 6.
His effort has really been unbelievable. That kid's playing very hard. He's given him everything he has. He's very limited offensively, limited with strength.
Missed the second one. Dunleavy keeps it alive, but he touched it last. It's out to Maryland.
With our sub-42 Reggie Love for Sanders.
Sanders goes out. Love, who has 4 fouls, is back in.
Really down right now. You can see the kid, his body language.
It's a liability when you can't make free throws.
Oh, you got to convert. Now you got to go to Baxter. You got to recognize they got Reggie Love playing him.
Bad pass by Blake. Good defense by Duke. And here comes Jason Williams, the other one.
Not a good decision by Blake.
Battier for 3. Short again.
That's 3 times he's been short on that shot. Not getting the legs into his shot. People have to understand, you don't only shoot with your hands and your arms, you shoot with your legs as well.
Battier has missed his last 6 shots.
Baxter, I'd go to Baxter.
Morris, Baxter, he's fouled on the way up by Love, and Love is gone.
They don't have an answer for Baxter inside. I would bring the rock inside to Baxter, taking advantage of his size and his strength.
Foul number 42, Baxter.
Now they're going to, little screen by Baxter. Now they're going to find him. Now he's going to take it up, go to the line. Here comes Sanders on the floor now, replacing Love.
Haven't seen much of Christensen in the second half.
Young coaching staff on that sideline. Chris Collins, Doug Collins' son. Doug does a great job at NBC. Steve Wojciechowski, defensive dynamo.
Yes, 2 shots.
Baxter with a double-double goes to the line. 14 points, 11 boards. He's hit 2 out of 3 in this game.
Got to convert on that line. That'll drive a coach absolutely bananas. You do all you can to design certain options for your players, get the high percentage shot, they get fouled, and then they brick it on a free throw line. And that's why I lost all my hair, Mike.
You must have had some really bad free throw shooters.
45, Taj Holden.
Taj Holden will come in. Baxter and Morris will go to the bench for Maryland as Gary Williams with that luxury of 10 guys who can play. And they go with the press. Duhon. Battier gives it up to Williams.
Can't put a hand on him. Can't hand check. Trying to spread the court.
Williams pull up 3. Huge. Holy cow.
I tell you, just like Joseph Forte, they want the rock, man. They want the rock, and that's why they're special. That's why they're PTPs. Coach K says, I love him, baby. I love Jason.
Jason Williams, 5 out of 8 from three-point range. He has 19.
I mean, nothing complicated about that, Brad Doherty. Just spread the court, isolate, put the ball in his hands, and say, do it, big fella.
I tell you, I really love his unwavering confidence, Dick. He continues to play. Even if he's not shooting the ball that well, he'll go back and steal the basketball, run the offense, but he's always searching for that shot. And when he and Duhon are on the floor at the same time, it creates huge problems in the front backcourt.
75-67. Duke back on top by 8. We're under 5 minutes to go. And here are the brackets. North Carolina advanced earlier today, knocking off Georgia Tech. The winner will meet the Heels for the ACC Tournament Championship tomorrow, 1 o'clock right here at the Georgia Dome.
And not only at stake would be the ACC Tournament Championship, and Duke would be trying to win 3 in a row if they get to that final. The last team to win 3 in a row was back in the late 60s, the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Only 2 teams have ever done it. NC State was the other. Jason Williams has the last 2 Duke field goals that have come in the last 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Wilcox from outside.
Remember that name. He's a diaper dandy. He hasn't had a lot of minutes this year, but he's going to get a lot of minutes next year, and he's going to become a special player from out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
75-69. Duke spreads the court. Williams down the lane. He's fouled on the way in. Juan Dixon will pick up the personal.
They just want the Jason Williams show right now. They're saying, we're giving you the rock. Take us to the winner's circle. Take us to the magical game tomorrow where the winner at stake will be the ACC Tournament Championship and the #1 seed in the East, which means Greensboro.
Maryland with 1 timeout left. Duke has 2. And we'll have both teams in the 1-1 for a few more minutes. Williams misses the free throw, and Duke has hurt itself several times this year at the line.
Well, 4 games that they lost, they've shot poorly on the free throw line.
Dixon, the great three-point shooter, buries one.
Dixon spots up really well. All ACC, super player. 2 years in a row, an all ACC player. Yesterday, also, Williams struggled on the free throw line.
Dunleavy, baseline, fouled by Wilcox. Nice move by Dunleavy to get inside. That's 4 on Wilcox. Duke has now hit 13 of 24 free throws. That percentage lowered, of course, because Sanders was 1 for 6.
You know, you think about Duke in their games that they lost. They had that disaster against North Carolina. They were 13 for 27 on a free throw line, if my memory is right. And then you think about the loss of Stanford. They missed some big free throws. Every loss, they've come up short on that free throw line.
And we're talking about guys missing free throws like Battier, Dunleavy, and Williams, who are such great outside shots.
Mike, I know guys don't agree with me, especially if you're a Duke faithful, but I really believe that's all the minutes you play under such emotion and intensity that sometimes that fatigue does take a part in it.
Oh, I think you're right. 77-72. Duke now appears to be hanging on to a 5-point lead. 4:09 to go.
I'll tell you, every time it looks like they're in command, Maryland makes the big play. There's a lot of character out of these kids. They lost 5 out of 6 after that emotional loss to Duke, and then regrouped.
Morris trying to create some space against Battier. Can't hit the shot. 3:52 to go. Duke by 5.
And this is where an All-American takes over. The 1-2 punch of Battier and Williams.
Williams wanted the shot, missed it. Miller with a rebound, ahead to Dixon. Knocked away, Dixon got it back. Williams with a save, but he was on the end line.
I tell you, he made like a defensive back, like a Ronnie Lott, who was an All-Pro for years right there. Jason Williams, I bet he could be a great defensive back.
It looked like Dixon was open, but Williams' hustle got him back to knock it away.
Look at his hustle. Look at his hustle, Mike. Look at his muscle. He's hustling like my partner, Mike Patrick.
Welcome.
ESPN's presentation of Championship Week is presented by 7-Up and your local 7-Up bottler. And in part by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, and scooters.
Coming up later, there's Lynn Greer of Temple hoping to lead his teammates and Coach John Chaney to a Atlantic 10 championship against UMass. That's coming up next as Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues. We are back at the Georgia Dome where Maryland with 1 timeout left, Duke with 2. Maryland will have the possession arrow if that becomes a factor. Maryland right now, Dick, looks a little fresher to me down the stretch than
exactly,
Duke does.
yeah, you really see a little bit more freshness, and that's because they have so many people they rotate in. When you look at Duke, you look at a team that plays so many minutes. You should look at the stats right here. 36% Duke is shooting, yet they're right now with a 5-point lead because they protected the basketball well, made some big threes, and they haven't really turned it over. There's a bunch of gutty kids right here.
Battier, the leading scorer on the court, he has 20, 19 for Williams. And Baxter with 15 for Maryland, Juan Dixon with 14. It's Maryland's ball. They're down by 5. Knocked away by James.
James looks like he's got his game back. He really went into a slide for a period of time, but defensively he's very active. And that's got to be really a moment of happiness for Mike Krzyzewski because he was terrific earlier this year.
Mike Krzyzewski said yesterday, you got to remember the guy is human. There's Battier again going down to steal the basketball. And did Battier get a timeout before he was tied up? He did.
Yes, he did. That's another part of the basketball IQ of a Shane Battier. Inspirational as well.
He just does it all the time. 3:35 to go in a 5-point game. Duke by 5, and the importance of that timeout by Battier was that Maryland had the possession arrow if there was a held ball situation. Duhan apparently called the timeout as Battier had the ball on the floor.
We're going to watch right now. There's Battier with the long arms, pops the ball loose. Ball goes down. Look at Duhan. Look at Duhan. Look at him calling a timeout, the freshman.
And look at Battier. He knew he was so close to the sideline, had that leg here, so he didn't go out of bounds.
That's just smart basketball. That's winning basketball. That's how you win basketball games. All the little intangibles.
Maryland has turned it over 20 times in this game.
That's a trademark of Duke, forcing those turnovers, Mike. Now they need a defensive stop.
3.5 minutes to go. Duke by 5.
A lot of time on that clock for the Terps.
Duhan against Blake.
There's the court wide open.
Williams can't get by Dixon. Still can't get by.
Playing without a post guy right now. Playing with all ball handlers and shooters.
Back to Williams.
Playing with 5 guys that can shoot the ball, handle the ball, and no post. He's leaving it wide open.
7 on the shot clock. Williams into the lane. Kicks it to Duhan in the corner. Too strong on the 3. Dixon with a rebound.
And they got the shot they really wanted. Look at that quickness with the ball.
Miller. Lost it on the way up. Got it back. Kept it alive to Dixon for 3.
What a big 3. But it was kept alive by Danny Miller. Miller made it happen for Gary Williams and his gang.
Juan Dixon with 17.
See, right now they're keeping the middle open for the driving ability of Williams.
Jason Williams with a runner. Can't hit it. The rebound to Baxter. He's in double digits on the boards.
Wide open
now with 21 more. Duke, and Miller. The Terps ahead.
Miller time. 2 big plays by Miller. He kept the ball alive and made a big three.
That is a clutch shot by Danny Miller off the bench.
11-2 run by the Terps.
Dunleavy, tough shot. He made it, and he's fouled.
That's just an absolute great one-on-one play there. They were trying to post Battier inside. What a sensational game.
That's a tough shot, Dick.
Oh, that was a tough running right-hand shot. Up in the air, knee up in the air. Look at Michael Dunleavy. They're going to reverse the ball. One-on-one, Battier trying to post. He just beats him one-on-one.
Dunleavy has a dozen. 4 out of 5 free throws.
Oh, they're
short on
hurting
that
themselves.
one.
They are really hurting themselves on a free throw line. In their 4 losses, they have shot so poorly on the line. And is that going to be another omen today? We're going to lose all 5 games that they've lost where they've shot poorly on the free throw line.
They're 15 out of 27 as a team. 141 and counting. Long three. Dunleavy with a rebound. Dixon might want that one back. And then Dunleavy's foul.
And Dunleavy missed some big ones in that Stanford game. At the end of the game, you got to make free throws. You want to get to the winner's circle.
And for years, Duke was a team that you just dreaded sending to the free throw line.
Just like North Carolina.
Exactly.
You never put them on a line years ago.
34 Dunleavy on the line for 2 shots.
They are under 65% shooting on the free throw line in their 4 losses.
Dunleavy is 4 of 6. Mega 4 of 7.
And they're missing them late. I mean, guys are missing late. Battier, Dunleavy, like you said earlier. I mean, good shooters.
Absolutely.
I say it's legs, man. I say it's legs. When you're fatigued, you don't get your legs into your shot.
Dunleavy hits the second. Duke by a bucket, a minute 35 to go.
We got a mail-on smasher, baby. That stomach is churning. A knee knocker, a white knuckler, as my late buddy Al McGuire would say.
The Blue Devils have hit only 3 of their last 10 free throws. Morris from way outside. Sanders with a rebound, then a fight for the ball underneath. It's a held ball. Possession arrow gives it back to Maryland.
Now ball goes to the Terps.
The last 2 shots the Terps have taken have been long threes.
I mean, they've been Dunwoody threes out of Dunwoody, Georgia. Both these coaches, such intense competitors, so emotional, such fighters.
It's a new 35 on the shot clock, 1:18 on the game clock.
Yeah, plenty of time right now. Blake's got to spread the ball.
It was a good job by Blake. Dribbled out of a double team, and Gary Williams will use the timeout to talk about this possession. 1:13 to go in the game. It is a 2-point lead for Duke. On pins and needles, just as we are. Who will they play in the championship tomorrow, Duke or Maryland? It's a 1 o'clock start here at the Georgia Dome. UMass and Temple will come up when we're done.
West Carolina with that win, moving on. It was a nail-biter. They shut down Alvin Jones on the interior to really contain him. Brendan Haywood did a great job defensively on him. He really did a super job making it tough. And Jason Capel made a monster shot, a reverse layup, a big-time shot. But it was the star of stars, Joseph Forte, the All-American, who delivered the finishing punch.
1:12 and counting. Maryland with the ball, down 2.
They want to go to Baxter. They want to go to Baxter against Sanders.
Morris, baseline, blocked by
Sanders. What a block! What a block! The coming of age of Casey Sanders. That'll be his play of the day if they want to win this game.
Morris, the senior, went baseline. Sanders just exploded toward the glass.
I mean, that was an unbelievable defensive play right there by Casey Sanders.
Now Duke works on the clock.
Spreading the court, going to use that entire clock and then isolate Williams in a one-on-one. They got him against Dixon, who's super quick.
Williams can't hit it. Sanders kept it alive. Here comes Blake. Shot clock is off. Morris kicks it outside. Miller to tie. Missed the shot, but he's fouled by Sanders. That's 4 on the center. So now Miller goes to the line. He can tie it, and Duke would have a chance at the last shot.
Wow, what a finish right here. They got Danny Miller was trying to square up to shoot the three, but Duke attacked him and made him put the ball to the deck to get him inside the three-point line.
Miller has hit one free throw today, his only opportunity, but for the season, he is only a 51% free throw shooter.
Now you got to watch on a missed shot. You got to block out. You look at a size factor right there, Morris and Baxter.
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes both, Dick. He has been clutch in the last few ball games. Then again,
you jinxed them. You jinxed them.
Oh, no. Send your letters to Vital, the ball dome index. Miller. Now what do? Do you try to make the one and then foul, or do you try to miss and get the ball back?
No, I still think there's plenty of time, Mike. You got to convert it. You got to.
Miller makes the second. Williams.
And he almost got it.
Nearly stolen. Ahead to Duhan. Dunleavy.
Oh, that's almost
and
intentional.
Dunleavy, that looked like an intentional foul as Blake just came over the top of his shoulder, but they're not going to call it.
They never call that foul, and it blows my mind. I've been screaming about that all year. Late in the game. I mean, that's an intentional foul. 2 shots in the ball. I mean, there's no doubt he's not playing the ball. He's going after the man. Now, take a look right here. Are you serious? Come on, that's an intentional foul, guys. You got to blow that whistle.
That's why they put the rule in there.
That's a poor call.
Dunleavy hits the first.
That's a poor call.
81-79. If he makes it, makes the second one, Maryland needs a 3.
Gary got a couple of raw deals today on a goaltending and all, but that was a bad call right there.
82-79, 16 and a half seconds to go for the right to play for the championship. They need a 3.
You don't want to begin to look at that 3.
And Blake will take it. What a shot!
I mean, Mike, what a big 3 by Mr. Blake.
Now Duke with a chance. Williams down the lane. Missed the shot.
Tipped by
Nate James.
Tipped by Nate James. What a finish.
Dixon to win it.
It's awesome, baby. What a game. Duke Carolina for the #1 seed and the ACC Championship.
What a game. What an incredible game. That is just remarkable. Dick, we knew it was going to be a great game, but I tell you what.
Wow, it's outdid itself.
You have to feel privileged to see games like this. And Mike Krzyzewski congratulating the Duke players. Gary Williams congratulating the Duke players. Mike Krzyzewski, the Maryland players. I mean, they went after each other all day long, and you have to wonder now, they go on to the championship game, how much do you have left for Carolina?
Oh, don't have it left when the adrenaline of playing North Carolina. Well, North Carolina got their wish. They get Duke in that final game. But what a finish. Hats off to Gary Williams and his kids with a great comeback. Take a look at Blake right here hitting a big 3.
That's with 8 seconds to go. Then Williams pushes it up.
And here's the All-American. He wants to make the last play. Takes it to the goal.
Watch James.
There's the offensive tip in by James, who's from Maryland and was recruited heavily by them.
And then Dixon has a crack at winning it. And almost made it.
Monster play of the game. The tip in by James, Mike. Take a look at shake and bake by Jason Williams. And there's the tip by James. And the Dukies march on. And they play North Carolina for the ACC. I'm staying there. I don't want to leave. I mean, I want to stay here. I want to see more action.
I'm going back to the hotel. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm going to Fratelli's for a good Italian dinner tonight.
North Carolina and Duke will match up tomorrow at 1 o'clock here at the Georgia Dome. And that is the matchup, of course, everyone expects every year. We get it this year as Duke wins a thriller. For Dick Vitale and Brad Doherty, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Back to Chris Fowler.